Faith in Public Life is a strategy and communication center for faith leaders who stand up for justice, compassion, and the common good. And in that role, we help lift up the voices of progressive faith leaders who are working on pressing economic issues, pressing justice issues of the day. So this year the economy is definitely the top priority of all voters, but especially faith voters, I think, because you're seeing a lot of discussions about the moral implications of the federal budget. A budget is a moral document, and it is about making the tough choices to reduce the deficit and, let our nation succeed. But we can't do that at the expense of the most vulnerable among us. That's what the Ryan Plan proposes. It proposes to cut programs for the poor, children, seniors, and to give more tax breaks to the wealthiest 2%. That's not what people of faith believe is inherently a just moral budget. The tax proposal that was passed by the House, primarily by House Republicans earlier this year, is really a devastating blow to many working families. Refundable tax credits are some of the most important anti-poverty programs in our country. These programs were actually started by right-wing figures who, now are, I guess, considered too moderate. But back then they said, hey, this is a great way to give poor working families a hand up. And the House plan did not extend those credits, which are so important. So we organize faith leaders to speak out against that. When you have decisions such as, we talk about tax credits and budgets and deficits, and they seem like abstract numbers, but really they have impacts on people's lives at the end of the day. These are the difference between somebody being able to put food on the table for their kids and going hungry. That's what's at stake, and that's why faith leaders are speaking up. If Romney wins the election, one of the first things he said he's going to do is repeal Obamacare. And we know how much that is going to devastate millions of families who now rely on this health care plan to get them through. And what the faith community is going to have to do is what it's always done, which is step up and try to fill those gaps in the system. But churches can't do it alone. Republicans want to just say that charity is enough, and there was a study done recently by Bread for the World that showed that every church would have to contribute an extra $50,000 to be able to just meet the hunger need that's going to happen in our society. That's just not realistic. Government and churches need to work together to provide for the common good. And if Romney is elected, and if their budget passes, and if they repeal Obamacare, it is going to be an enormous strain on the social safety net. It's going to be even more important that the faith community come together to speak about the moral implications of this.